펼쳐진 낯선 길 앞에 조금은 두려워 주저앉아 울고 싶지만.
So, as I get ready for bed, I just finished watching a show. It is called Shoulder to Cry On. I believe it's based off of a manhwa or like a manga kind of thing, right? So, I finished watching it. That was too funny. Go on. Anyways, Shoulder to Cry On is a 2023 6-episode series on Viki. You can watch it for free, and it's pretty cute. So I wanted to talk about a little bit about the story, about the cinematography, all that kind of stuff, as I get ready for bed. So I'm going to try and cut as little as possible because my hands are all blah, blah, blah. So first off, I'm watching the special episodes right now, which is just like behind the scenes of them filming and they're like having fun. And apparently the two lead actors were brand new to acting. At least that's how they said it. It's what I got from it, where they were like, yeah, it's the first day of shooting and it's my first day of acting. And I'm like, really? I did not get that at all. Like, I watched the entire show. I thought the lead actors did phenomenal. I think they had great chemistry, and I think they made some very good choices and unique choices that I really enjoyed. Story follows two boys, because of course this is gay, and one boy is in archery club, but he doesn't really seem very passionate about kind of anything. So he's a loner, he doesn't have friends, stuff like that. Whereas this other guy is class president, but he's kind of, he gets, not in trouble, but he goofs off a lot and whatnot. And it's these two that come together. At first they hate each other, it's an enemies to lovers, and it was really cute in the beginning. Very, very cute. That's the show, pretty much. My first impressions was that it did a character card sheet thing for everyone. It's like a title sequence. I'm forgetting what the fuck, but it says like loner in archery club that doesn't have anything to go for in the future, whatever. Like, it says that in the beginning, and I don't usually like those because it's just exposition that you have to read, where I feel like you can convey that without having to do that, and they do convey that without having to have those cards there. So that was kind of like okay, you started off a little like rocky, maybe a little bit low budget, sure, whatever, that's kind of what I was expecting. And then it went on, and as they were going through high school, it was great. The story, like the characterization, like what they're going through, the characters' choices made sense, and I was just like, okay, well, what's going on here? This is getting good. And then the ending came. I'm not as impressed with the ending. This had a lot more serious topics than I expected. There is a lot of guilt for an accident that happened in the family where a family member died. There is forcibly, on accidentally, like, miscarriages and suicide, and then like self-harm. But it doesn't feel dark at all. It's actually it's tragic when you're watching it and you're like, oh shit, this is happening. But it doesn't feel disrespectful, and it doesn't feel like it's making fun of it or that it's taking the piss out of anything. It's like, I understand where this character's at now. Got it. Thank you for that information. Damn, that sucked. And then you move on, right? So, a lot more serious topics than expected, but I really like those types of serious topics, and so that was like my favorite part of the show, and then afterwards, not so much. Now, I don't remember being shocked by any of the camera angles or the way that they visually told the story. They did a lot of Dutch angles, now that I think of it, and when the light is flickering a little bit, and you're just like, oh, it's like a lovely thing, slow motion light kind of in the way, and those are kind of to be expected. But a lot more Dutch angles than I thought. But it wasn't so bad. It wasn't like Thor, that first Thor movie. If you go and rewatch that, you're never gonna unsee it. Oh my god. Anyways, so I think that was fine. They did like shallow focus a lot, so the background was very blurry compared to what was in the foreground. Like even when they had like an arrow and they set it down, they would like rack focus back and forth and stuff. So someone really liked to do rack focusing, which I also enjoy. I think overall it was a pretty simple story. Like, there may have been those intense bits in the beginning to explain people's character. Like, they were three-dimensional. I do think the characters had depth to them, which was great. But the story overall wasn't very crazy or nuanced or anything. It was just like, okay, got to see that. That was fun. Nice. And that's all it needed to be. And then the last, like, episode and a half I watched. And there's a motherfucking time jump. 2 years later, my ass. I fucking hate it when these shows do that. Oh, it pisses me off. Because then they come back. And then after the time jump, and then they like get back together, or they finally have that one conversation that they could have had back in high school. But no, we had to fucking skip for no fucking reason. There's like 2 time jumps in this. What the fuck? Now, for the very end, I'm not gonna spoil it, but while some characters, it feels like it's them still, and their choices make sense, not all of it did, and it felt very slow, like much slower than it had to be. If you're in a relationship with someone, you're okay to be like embarrassed about stuff, sure. And maybe in Korea there's more of like a shyness to relationships, and like kissing is more like taboo or something like that. I don't know. But if you are interested in kissing someone and they come up to you and you close your eyes and then they like make fun of you, kind of like blow in your face, kind of like, ah ha ha, right? But then they do the same thing, and then you also say no to kissing them, and you do that like 3 times back to each other. Do you guys even want to kiss at that point? Like, what the fuck is up with that? Like, yeah, you can be embarrassed, but kiss. So that might not be like a character flaw or anything, but it just got me out of the momentum and romance of it, because it's like, you guys know you're allowed to kiss in private in your own house. You're dating. You can kiss. I don't know. Again, like, perfectly fine. You can be like embarrassed of like wanting to kiss someone. Like, I understand that there's different degrees. People may not like want to touch as much, or maybe they're still embarrassed to like be naked in front of their partner, right? There's different levels of all this stuff. But when you have to make an excuse and be like, no, I was just sleepy, just say, I want to kiss you. I want to make out with you right now. Please. Please. But no, I'm sleepy. Oh, you've been sleepy all day. I'm so sleepy. What? No, I don't want to kiss you. What? With all of that in mind, I did enjoy watching this. It took me 2 days to watch, and I really enjoyed the beginning and middle, and it was meh at the end. I'm going to give it some, like, minus points for the very end feeling kind of useless. Like, the last episode was just like, what happened? Like, there's an epilogue episode, and you're like, I'm sorry, the show didn't finish. You didn't finish the story. Epilogue is for later, not to finish up the story that you just had. Like, what are you talking about? So, I'm taking a point or 2 off for that. And then it just kind of lost its momentum after the big intense bits that happened, which were fantastic. But just after that, it was just kind of like, oh, you peaked. Cool, sorry. So I think I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. It's fun, enjoyable, but it doesn't end well. Let me know what you think if you've watched it. It's enjoyable. I did enjoy it. It's just not as good as I thought it'd be. But the 2 lead actors, great job. I thought they did fantastic. I just think the story and like the script that they got towards the end was not as good. I still think like the entire cast, fantastic. 2 lead actors, great thing, right? So I finished watching it. That was too funny. Go on.